My name is Patricia, and I was 29 when I thought I'd found the love of my life. Keith. We fell in love fast and got married within a year. Keith worked as an accountant. He was tall and always made everyone laugh. I worked in digital marketing, and on weekends I loved to paint. I liked to plan everything, while Keith was more easygoing and did things on the spur of the moment. We seemed like the perfect match, or so I thought. The day after our wedding, our living room was full of gifts and cards from friends and family. It was a happy mess. That's when Keith's parents, Judy and Logan, came by. Because we got married so quickly, I hadn't really spent much time with them yet. They seemed nice enough at first. As we opened our gifts, I noticed Judy and Logan were paying extra attention to what we got. "Is that a crystal vase?" Judy asked, picking up a shiny vase from my Aunt Kelly. She looked at it like she really wanted it. "Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it?" I said, hoping she wouldn't try to take it. But Judy set it down and casually said, "We can find a nice spot for this at our house." Keith didn't notice because he was busy looking at some fancy kitchen tools from his cousin. I gave him a look, hoping he'd say something. He just laughed and told his mom, "Mom, that's our wedding gift," acting like it was just a joke. "Oh, come on, it'll just sit here collecting dust. We'll use it," Logan added, putting his arm around Judy, acting like it was no big deal. Trying to stay calm, I said, "Actually, I thought it would look really nice in our entryway." Judy looked surprised and a bit annoyed. "Patricia, you need to learn to share. We're family now, families help each other," she said, almost like she was scolding me. Keith felt the tension and quickly tried to change the mood. "Let's not worry about this now. We have plenty of gifts." I nodded and kept quiet, even though I was upset. They kept pointing out things they liked, and it felt like they were claiming parts of my new life, and Keith just let them. Our first year of marriage went by fast, and soon it was our anniversary. I wanted to make it special, so I booked a table at Chez Louis, a small restaurant we both loved. I invited Keith's parents too, to show them I cared. When we got there, Judy and Logan were already at the table, looking at the menu. "This place is fancy," Judy said, glancing at the nice decorations. Keith squeezed my hand under the table, thanking me without words. I hoped this dinner would bring us all closer. When it was time to order, I chose the salmon, Keith's favorite, but Judy quickly chose the most expensive dishes. "We'll have the lobster and filet mignon," she told the waiter, like she owned the place. Logan smiled at the waiter and added, "And bring us your best bottle of wine too." I forced a smile. Quite the celebration. "Huh," I said, trying to keep it light. Keith shrugged. "It's a special night, let's not worry about the cost." Judy and Logan enjoyed every bite like they were at a royal feast, not caring how much it cost. When the bill came, Keith looked surprised but didn't say anything. He just paid. As we were leaving, Judy linked her arm with mine. "Patricia, this was wonderful. Let's do this again next year," she said happily. Soon after, Thanksgiving came and then the holiday season. Keith and I decorated the house with fall and Christmas decorations. One evening, while we were hanging lights, Keith got a message. He chuckled while reading it. "Oh, my parents already sent their Christmas wish list," he said. "Wish list?" I asked. "Yeah, they send one every year. Makes shopping easier," he explained, handing me his phone. I was shocked when I saw it. Expensive electronics, designer clothes, and luxury stuff that seemed way over the top. "They can't be serious," I said, looking at him. Keith shrugged. "They like nice things, what can I say?" I didn't know what to say back. My excitement for Keith's birthday faded a little too. I'd planned to get him a watch he really wanted, but now it felt less special with all this pressure to buy big gifts for his parents too. When it was time to make our own wish list, I joked, maybe we should just ask people to donate to charity instead. Keith laughed. "Good one, but seriously, you need a new laptop, right?" When Christmas came, I got Judy and Logan a nice coffee maker, simple but thoughtful. They gave me scented candles in return. The candles were fine, but it felt unfair when I saw the expensive drone they gave Keith. It was clear, we were expected to give big gifts but not expect much in return. It bothered me, but I didn't say anything. I just wrapped gifts and smiled through the holidays. One day at work, I got an email. My bonus was bigger than I expected. I felt excited. I wanted to do something special for Keith and me, something to help us reconnect. We had always dreamed of going to Venice together. Now I could make it happen. That night at dinner, I told Keith the surprise. He looked so happy, happier than I'd seen him in months. Venice? Really? That's amazing, he said, kissing me. But then his phone rang. It was his mother. He told her our plans right away. I wished he had kept it between us just a little longer. I listened as his face changed from excited to serious. I know, you've always wanted to go, he said quietly. He hung up and looked at me. They want to come with us, he said. I felt frozen. To Venice? With us? I asked. He nodded. They said they've never been and always wanted to go. Let's take them. The room felt small. This was supposed to be our trip. Keith, just us, I said, trying to stay calm. He sighed. They're getting older, and I feel bad. They've done so much for me. I thought about everything, the gifts, the dinner, all of it, but this is for us. I worked hard for this, I said. He was quiet, then finally said, okay, we'll tell them maybe next year instead. But when he called them, he didn't stick to it. Maybe we can all go together next year, he said. Judy didn't agree. Why next year? We can go now, she said, sounding annoyed. I couldn't hold it in anymore, because this trip is for us. Judy, Keith and I need this time together, I said. Judy snapped back. Well, that's very selfish of you, Patricia. After that, our house felt cold and tense. Keith hardly spoke to me. He left for work early and came home late. We barely talked. One night, we sat across from each other at dinner. The only sound was his fork hitting the plate. I cleared my throat. Keith, we can't keep going like this, I said softly. We need to talk about what happened. Keith kept eating, then finally put down his fork. What do you want me to say, Patricia? He asked, sounding tired. It's so hard. Why does it feel like you're picking them over me? I asked, my voice showing how hurt I was. Keith sighed and folded his hands in front of him. They're my parents, Patricia. They've always dreamed of going to Venice. And what about our dreams, the things we planned together? I asked. I was getting frustrated, trying so hard to reach him. Keith ran a hand through his hair. I knew that move. He always did it when he was stressed. I know, he said, and for a second I saw the man I married, torn and unsure, but not heartless. It's just, they've always been there for me. I feel like I owe them. But where does that leave us, Keith? I asked, leaning closer to meet his eyes. What about our marriage? He didn't answer right away. That silence made me feel a wave of fear. Maybe we weren't as strong as I thought. Maybe our marriage wasn't as solid as I believed. It's supposed to be us against the world, Keith, not me against you and them, I said quietly, trying not to cry. He looked at me, really looked at me, and I could see how torn he was inside. I know, Patricia, I just don't know how to keep everyone happy, he said. That's the thing, I said, feeling clear-headed all of a sudden. We can't make everyone happy, but we made vows to each other. Keith, doesn't that mean something? He nodded slowly, staring at the table before looking back at me. It does, it means a lot. We finished our meal mostly in silence, but not the same cold silence as before. It felt like maybe my words had finally gotten through to him. The next morning, sunlight filled the house, but it didn't feel warm. I woke up and noticed Keith's side of the bed was untouched. The house felt empty, heavy with silence. I rubbed my eyes and grabbed my phone. I didn't expect any messages. We barely talked lately, but instead, I saw my phone was full of notifications, all from my bank. A lump formed in my throat as I read them. There were charges for plane tickets and hotel bookings. Sitting there in the quiet, I realized the truth. Keith and his parents had bought flights and hotels for Venice, using my account, while I was sleeping. The emails showed they were already gone. They were on the trip that was supposed to be for us, paid for with the bonus I had earned. I felt sick. Anger and heartbreak hit me all at once. Keith, who I trusted with everything, had used that trust against me. It was all there in black and white. My hands were shaking as I called him, even though I knew he wouldn't pick up, not with the time difference and not after our last fight. When his voicemail beeped, I said, Keith, I saw the charges. You took your parents to Venice with my bonus. I don't even know what to say. I hope it's worth it. When I hung up, the house felt colder than ever. The silence wrapped around me like a blanket I couldn't shake off. I sat at the kitchen table, my mind spinning. Then I took a deep breath and started canceling everything, the hotels, the return flights, anything I could undo. With every cancellation, I felt my old life slipping away. When that was done, I called the bank and removed Keith's access to my accounts. Each click felt scary but freeing too. The man I married, the family I tried to fit into, were now strangers to me. They had used me instead of caring for me. I packed my bags carefully, each thing a reminder that this dream was over. I knew I couldn't stay. No sorry could fix what he'd done. He made his choice, and now I had to make mine. I looked at my wedding ring in my palm. It felt cold and heavy. I left it on the counter. It sparkled almost mocking me in the morning light. I took one last look at the house and shut the door behind me. It had never really felt like home anyway. By late afternoon, I was driving away with my car packed with clothes and what I needed. As I drove, my phone buzzed, messages from Keith and his mother. I pulled over and read them. Keith wrote, "Patricia, please, we need to talk about this. Can't we just discuss it?" His words felt empty now. I started to type back but stopped. There was nothing left to say. His mom's messages were full of excuses and confusion, but I ignored those too. I had made up my mind. I turned my phone off and kept driving. They could sort out their own vacation now, paid for with my money. My first stop was the bank. The manager, a kind woman, welcomed me. "I need to make sure my husband can't touch my money anymore," I told her, my voice more steady than I felt inside. She nodded and said, "Don't worry, we'll protect you." When I left the bank, I felt like I had some control back. I drove straight to my sister's house, the one place I knew I'd feel safe. She opened the door before I even knocked and hugged me tight. "Patricia, I've been so worried," she said. We sat at her kitchen table and I told her everything. She couldn't believe it. "You deserve better than this," she said. "I know," I said, "that's why I'm done. I left the house. I'm filing for divorce." "Do you need a lawyer?" "I'll help," she said right away. "I'll find one," I said, "someone who doesn't know Keith or his family. I need a clean break." We unpacked my car together and planned my next steps. Doing normal things helped calm my mind. Standing in her kitchen with a cup of coffee, my phone buzzed again. "Keith," he wrote, "Patricia, we need to talk. I'm sorry, I miss you. I think we can fix this." I sighed. His sorry meant nothing now. "Not this time, Keith," I whispered, typing, "there's nothing left to talk about. Please respect my decision." The silence after that felt heavy, but I wasn't going to change my mind. A few days later, Keith's parents showed up at my sister's house. They looked angry. They pushed past my sister. "You've got some nerve, Patricia," his mom yelled. "You ruined our vacation. You're selfish and greedy." My sister stood in front of me. "That's enough," she said firmly. "You're not going to come in here and insult my sister." The fight got loud. Neighbors peeked through their windows. I stood my ground because my sister was right beside me. It felt like the final break I needed. They left, but the tension stayed in the air. Still, deep down, I knew I was finally done. The divorce felt cold and slow, just paperwork and signatures, but each paper I signed felt like cutting another chain. When it was done, I stepped outside the courthouse and felt free. Isabella was waiting for me. She hugged me tight. "You did it, Patricia." I walked away from people who only took from me. I chose myself. Keith still sent messages for a while, apologies, then angry words, but I never read them. I moved on. I found a small apartment full of sunlight. I filled it with books and plants and small happy things. I signed up for classes again and did things just for me. One quiet evening, I sat on my little balcony with tea and finally deleted Keith's number. It was just a number, but letting it go felt powerful. Now, I was truly free. Free to heal, free to grow, free to be myself. No apologies, no more begging for respect. Every new day felt like hope, and that was enough for me.